but the boat is really taking on water fast. And it's not the cutlass gland or anything like that, it's coming in through the keel. I've actually got a hole in the keel somewhere, and it's coming in so fast you can see it flowing.
Well, it should be big enough to find the crack.
It should be. Well, and it flows in faster when the boat is kind of half aground. Sadly, the boat is on the slip. It's got a hole in it. Might have two now, I'm not sure, because when it went down on the slip, it went down very badly, right on the edge. And down here is some damage. Now I hope that was where it was coming in. I hope that's the place where it was coming in. If it was coming in somewhere else as well as that place, then that's pretty bad. So this is the game. The tide comes in and we pump until the tide's got as high as it can, and then we leave the boat at the top of the tide and the water goes out, and we just pump all the time that the boat is rising on the tide and hope that we win, and hope that there isn't another hole, that there's only the one hole. It's a beautiful sunrise, which is a good thing. It's Monday morning and this is now the third tide, where as the tide has come in I've spent the time pumping the boat. So, because we did it Sunday morning in Brancaster, and it's now, and then last night I was pumping the boat to keep the tide out of it, and this morning I'm pumping the boat to keep the tide out of it. This slip here. Hopefully they're going to come and lift us out this morning at about 8 o'clock and stick us in the yard over there. Had enough of this, thank you, slug. Although I guess it's my fault for going aground at Cromer, which is where I've worked it through, and I think that that's when it all went wrong. And what's happened is that the mud at Wainfleet blocked up the hole, cut down the flow, and I didn't really realise that I had a hole. Somehow sealed itself, I don't know how. Anyway, the boat's going to stay here for a couple of months. The nicest sailing months of the year, but if I'm going to survive the winter on the wash, then I do need to spend some time and money on the slug. So it's time to stop sailing and start maintaining. Back to the pumping. Well, it's the end of July, 23rd, and sadly the slug, can't be good news, is ashore. Bringing her ashore has been precipitated by the fact that there's a hole in the keel, which I've obviously got to fix. The push pit is coming apart. The roller reefing needs replacing. Inside the boat, there's also still the problem with water coming in through the prop somehow, so I've got to take that apart, and that hatch has got a hole in it. So it's raining. I can basically spend the next 2 months, sadly, in the summer working on the boat, because it's got some tough sailing ahead of it. So this year's holiday is basically going to be under canvas in the Lake District. It's a shame because I'm going to miss out on some sailing, but on the other hand the boat will be well prepared for the winter. Now, under normal circumstances, if I was a richer man, I'd pay somebody to do all this. But because I'm not a rich man, I've got to do it myself. And to do that, I've got to go off and earn some money. That doesn't mean the Keep Turning Left films are going to stop, because there's still some fantastic things to do. I'm almost a year behind with the editing, so there are films about the Ald, the Buckley, the Orr, Southwold, the Broads, Blakeney, so there's plenty to keep you coming back to the website through the winter. And at the moment there are about 350 subscribers, which if you work that out, you know, what's that? That's 350 times $5. Not a huge amount of money. It just about covers the costs of the music that I've been using, and also for Google Earth. So as a project, this is a long way behind paying for itself, so I've got to go off and earn some money doing real work so that I can do up the boat, so that I can carry on sailing. It's a great shame. But now the boat's going to be emptied, cleaned out in the middle of July. All I would say is that I did start sailing in January, so the boat has been in commission for February, March, April, May, June, July. So that's 6 months sailing, which is probably what most other people will get in 2 years. So the boat has had a hammering. I hope that the keel is okay. I'm worried that there might be something structural with it. The trouble is that there is a hole, which I've found, and you can see I've just stuffed the mastic in there for the time being. But the problem is that it seems to leak worse when it's aground and the tide's coming in. So that might mean that there are some cracks that are opening up. So I may have done something structural to the slug when I hit the beach in Cromer. In which case it could be curtains for the slug. Because boat for £2,000, if there's something structural that I've done, if it's just a puncture hole, that's going to be cheap to do. But if it's more significant than that, then I am probably in trouble. And the series will have to stop for a while during the time that I look for another boat. But right now, I've got to strip everything off and chuck it in the car. Shame, eh?